what makes a tactical war game truly unforgettable. It isn't just the guns, the explosions, or the graphics. It's the way a single decision, whether to push a squad across an exposed street or hold them back, can completely change the course of a battle. Today we're diving deep into tactical war games, the kind that thrive on tension, timing, and small-scale combat where every move counts. If you're into hidden gems, classics that still hold up, and brand new 2025 releases, you're in the right place. And hey, if you enjoy lists like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next drop. Let's start with a bonus pick that deserves way more attention than it gets. Bonus pick, War Game Design Studios Squad Battles. These are old school turn-based war games covering everything from Vietnam to modern skirmishes. They're not on Steam or GOG. You'll need to grab them directly from the studio, but once you do, you'll unlock a goldmine of content. Hundreds of handcrafted scenarios, razor-sharp tactics, and a focus on fundamentals like fire and movement, leadership and suppression. Yes, the UI looks dated. Yes, the graphics are simple. But don't let that fool you. The gameplay depth is immense, and once you get into it, you'll realize why fans still swear by these titles. Yo, if you're new, start with Eagle Strike or Red Victory. They're perfect introductions to the series. If that's a little too retro for you, let's move into something more familiar. Close Combat Panthers in the Fog. The Close Combat series is legendary, and Panthers in the Fog represents everything that makes it timeless. Real-time squad-level fights set in post-D-Day Normandy. Compact maps, foggy hedgerows, and prowling tanks create an atmosphere where suppression, morale, and line of sight mean everything. In 2025, it's still worth playing because it teaches fundamentals like bounding Overwatch and fire discipline better than almost any other game. Sure, the interface takes a little patience and pathfinding isn't perfect, but when you see a squad break under fire or a single MG pin down an entire street, you'll understand why this series has survived decades. And if Normandy isn't your flavor, try Close Combat 3, the Russian Front. It's just as good, and it shows how tactical gameplay can thrive across different theaters of war. But what if you want something newer with a modern spin? Second Front. Second Front blends digital and tabletop design into something unique. It's turn-based, with squads, tanks, and support weapons clashing across scenarios that range from Stalingrad to open fields. The visuals are simple, but don't let that mislead you. The AI can flank, hold ground, and surprise you in ways that make every battle feel alive. The best part? It has a full scenario editor, plus a huge flow of community-created content. That means Second Front is basically endless. You'll never run out of battles to fight. It's easy to learn thanks to its phased order system, but it doesn't sacrifice depth. Morale, ammo, fatigue, and destructible environments all matter. If you're after a tactical playground that can be as casual or as hardcore as you want, Second Front is the one. But maybe you prefer something quicker. Valor and Victory. Think of Valor and Victory as the board game brought to PC. It's squad level, hex-based, and intentionally streamlined. You're moving counters, firing weapons, and finishing scenarios in under an hour. No manual thick rulebooks, just clean tactics that make positioning and suppression the stars of the show. Over the years, it's grown with chunky DLC, Stalingrad, Kursk, the Pacific, each adding new maps and missions. The AI is a little predictable, but that also makes it perfect for teaching yourself tactical basics without drowning in complexity. If you're someone who likes shorter, punchy sessions that still feel meaningful, Valor and Victory delivers. But if you want something brutal, realistic, and modern, buckle up. Combat Mission Shock Force 2. This is the crown jewel of hardcore tactical wargaming. Shock Force 2 puts you in command of modern squads and vehicles in Syria, and every decision carries weight. You issue orders, then watch them unfold in tense, nail-biting replays. It's called the Wago system, and is perfect for analyzing what went right and what went very, very wrong. Urban combat, desert ambushes, IEDs, armor, and infantry all collide here. Morale, suppression, and line of sight are modeled with chilling realism. It's not forgiving. Rushing a squad into the open can mean disaster. But that's exactly what makes it so rewarding. Victories feel earned. This isn't a game you casually jump into. It takes patience, but for those who stick with it, nothing else captures modern small unit combat like Combat Mission. Still, not everyone wants ultra hardcore. Lock and load. Tactical digital. Here's where things speed up, and Lock and Load Tactical is a digital take on the board game series, and it's all about immediacy. The impulse system keeps the action flowing. You act, the enemy reacts, and suddenly a quiet field becomes a kill zone. It covers everything. World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Cold War, even science fiction. The tutorials get you straight into the fight without weeks of study, and every battle plays out cinematically. Heroes emerge mid-battle, broken squads rally, and tanks charge through villages. It's clunky in spots, but the variety and drama make up for it. If you want tactical action that feels alive without being buried in spreadsheets, this is your game. But not every war story is about massive fronts. Sometimes the strangest ones are the most memorable. Castle Itter. The story behind Castle Itter is wild. In the final days of World War II, U.S. soldiers, German defectors, and freed French prisoners held off an SS assault in an Austrian castle. And yes, it really happened. The digital version plays like a tense, card-driven defense. The runs are short, 20 to 30 minutes once you know the rules, but every choice matters. Do you risk your limited defenders on a counterattack or hunker down and wait for help? It's not flashy. The graphics are simple, but the theme is unforgettable. And sometimes that's all it takes to make a tactical game stick with you long after you've put it down. But let's return to something meatier. The troop drops you straight into D-Day skirmishes with a design that feels like tabletop wargaming minus the measuring tape. You're maneuvering squads and tanks across hedgerows and villages, and the AI is no pushover. It flanks, it ambushes, and it punishes sloppy moves. With 30-plus maps, persistent campaigns, and quick battles, the troop is replayable and sharp. It doesn't overwhelm you with endless rules, but it gives you just enough realism to make every choice count. If you've ever wanted to command miniatures without the hassle, this is your shortcut. But for our final pick, let's take things in a more emotional direction. Burden of Command. On the surface, Burden of Command looks like another World War II tactics game, but it's so much more. You play as a company commander, and while you'll be flanking enemies and pushing through missions, the real challenge is your men, their morale, their trust, and their lives. This isn't just about winning the mission. It's about carrying the weight of your decision. Do you push forward aggressively, risking losses, or hold back and risk failure? Every choice shapes the story. and that emotional weight sets it apart from anything else in the genre. It's rare to see a war game focus on leadership and empathy as much as tactics, but that's exactly what makes Burden of Command so powerful. It humanizes the battlefield, and it leaves you thinking long after you close the game. So there you have it. Tactical war games ranging from retro gems to hardcore sims to deeply emotional stories. Each one has something unique to offer, and together they paint a picture of a genre that's as gripping as it is varied. Which one stands out to you? Are you a fan of the brutal realism of combat mission, the fast-paced impulse system of lock and load, or the emotional storytelling of Burden of Command? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive list. We've got more strategy and tactical breakdowns coming your way very soon. Until then, keep your squads in cover, and I'll see you on the next one.